Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So last time, doing the affinity trick, in which you open up Task Manager, find the right process of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and change the affinity from all of your CPU cores to the less than all, then turning them back on. That's in general what you need to do. After doing all of that, it seemed like I got that smoothness I wanted. So now I want to go back to 60 Hertz, which theoretically means 60 frames per second. I don't know why games always seem to want to go back and forth between the two, because it's weird, certainly. But I guess 60 Hertz might be more accurate. It might be an implication that the game might not always have 60 frames per second, but it will go 60 cycles per second, which is what hertz mean. That might be the difference. So I want to try that, and if we don't see any incredible slowdown in the next hour, we're going to be good. It's been 24 hours about since last time. Man, look at that lady. Some of the characters I recall in one of these Assassin's Creed games were just like procedurally generated to be fatter versions. So there's basically a randomization that goes on some of these people, and they decide, well, is this going to be a fat person or is this going to be a skinny person? And then you'll, in doing that, which it's not a terrible idea to do something like that, you end up unfortunately creating some really unrealistic things. Here we have a bird pigeon roost, which I think might have a more of a reason to exist later on in the game. Actually not 100% certain what we were supposed to do. Yeah, I think we're supposed to... Yeah, we're supposed to find the courtesans, the thieves, and the militia people. And there it is. And nearly jumped off the edge. And convinced him to work with us. But first things first, let's synchronize this area. See, that felt very much like a section of gameplay specifically just to get us into the mood. And hit the water because there was no leap of faith from that. Interesting. So now, last time we looked at the map, there was nothing to do. Here we have a lot of things we could do, or we could go to the story and do the memory start. So I don't think it's incredibly silly to think to ourselves, let's release this bourgeois tower and then start the memory, since it's on the way. But let's not fuss too much with the rest of this. I didn't really unlock that much. We'll just have the central location with a bank that apparently is right there. So, to the Borgia Tower. We may find that some of these Borgia Towers are beyond our ability right now. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. It might be smarter to just wait for the storyline to move forward. This looks like this is the painter shop, but actually it isn't. It's over here, and you'll notice this happens a decent amount of time. That upgrade for 900. And we might as well get a quick thing. Rome Global Investment. You can invest in shops to earn greater profit. Bring your next income collected. You will also earn shop quest items if you invest enough money. Remind you, to invest in a shop, you must talk to its owner and select the investments option. So, for 900 more, I can invest in it. And we've invested once, but we would have to invest multiple times. You can only invest in one shop at a time. Wait until more profits arrive. So, I don't even know what that means. We can buy some more paintings of different things. We could buy some treasure maps, which seems like a decent thing to do. And complete the shop quest to unlock the Vaticano things. Can I sell items? Yes, but is it now the right time to sell items? Or should we just hold on to things? Shop quest. Complete the shop quest to do this. Ah, so the items you're collecting, the random stuff, of which I have none, are also part of a quest system. That this is kind of insane to be in an Assassin's Creed game. But also, it seems like there's not that much in the area. So we see some treasures and things that we can work towards. I kind of say with a sigh as I'm thinking about this. We're kind of immediately going to also have problems with going to the map, setting locations, coming back from the map.
You need only lift your gazes past my counter to see I tell no lie.
Let's see. Speak to this guy. So I could immediately upgrade this if I could afford it and get smoke bomb pouches. I don't think we'd ever want to dye our clothes. Seems like kind of a waste of money. And something we might very well do later on in the game. Capes in the previous game, you were given certain capes. Can't invest in this one.
Oh well, next time. Ciao.
Like, you were specifically given capes that would convince the people not to be upset with you, the police to not be upset with you. And I don't know if that's going to continue and work that way. See, here we're back to where we were. And the reason for that is I want to get treasures. Like, we can see a treasure somewhere here.
Isn't that dangerous?
They're remarking on whether what I'm doing is dangerous or not. I imagine the treasures in this area are not very big and don't have that much in them. And I'm also noticing that just working my way around areas is not proving to be the best thing ever. Get a doctor upgraded, get this whole area upgraded so we can get money as quickly as possible.
Bring me your sick and wounded.
See, the game must, at some point, expand out more. It just kind of has to. Otherwise, the 15 buildings of Rome are gonna turn into way more than it should be. I'm on the wrong side, kind of surprisingly. Let's see, can we climb up this? Yes, we can. There's a lot of verticality, a lot of going around, going up and down, up and down. Just desperately looking for this chest. Which I don't think you ever get an ability to squeeze down those openings. So the map's not completely helpful. A lot better than not having the maps, certainly. But the general area on the map is still big enough that you could walk around the building a couple of times looking and work from bottom to the top. So if we want to look at the record book, we can see it. All the shops, really, I can't really believe that in all of Rome there's only 10 banks, but maybe. And then renovations, as far as several other things that we need to fix. And then there's all kinds of landmarks and economy and Rome global economy. And when they say global economy, I'm starting to wonder if that's part of it too. There must be some kind of timer that comes around on the investments. That must be how it works, and I don't have enough to invest in that, so that's helpful. Although it doesn't actually seem like the map, the way I marked things, like, interesting. Why is this marked and unable to be demarked? You can see this slightly dim if you haven't upgraded the thing yet. So yeah, something's going wrong with the map. I don't know if this is a glitch or if it's intentional. You can see there's a... Once we crossed that bridge, we were back into... There's a thief. But I just knocked him over and got some money. You can see there's bad guys. Apparently the robber robbed me. I don't know when, though. That didn't seem accurate at all. So we've got the guards wandering around. This area is not safe, where the previous area was. We can wait for some time to gain more money through the menus and all of that. But you can see, I don't think I can just... That doesn't work. Borgia counter engine. Kill him to remove the Borgia influence. And difficulty 3. Which I'm not sure exactly how difficult difficulty 3 is. But I would assume it's something akin to 3 times as difficult as difficulty 1, which is probably where we should start.
Let's kill this slug! Let's show him some Borgia hospitality!
Nope, nope, nope. Gotta
Let's kill this slug!
kill this guy.
You lazy dogs! We've an assassin to roast!
Come on, nope. Focus on him.
Let's show him some Borgia hospitality, boys!
Come on, kill him.
Ugh. We've an assassin! Let's come on, you lazy dogs! We've an assassin!
Alright, that worked.
Let's kill this slug!
Now you can see. There we go. I am about to die. And I don't think I.
Come on, you lazy dog! We've an assassin to roast!
But
Come on, you lazy dog! We've an assassin to roast!
just kill this guy.
Let's kill this
And definitely didn't have an experience like this before. Like, definitely did not have this problem before of somebody attacking me on a horse. But I've also certainly messed up the experience. Come on, climb up, hurry up. So doing these Borgia towers is proving is gonna be more than your usual just climb a tower. There's gonna be people around for certain. That was a struggle. More of a struggle than it probably should have been, considering that was on the way to the memory. But it also just kind of points out that I need to do more synchronizations, and by doing more synchronizations, I'll get more health. And see, I think now I'm slightly safer. And that's good news. I think there will be less guards in the area, less things to deal with. But again, I have to balance this in my head as how much of this extra work is worth doing. Like, it could be that it's totally worth unlocking, upgrading everything. It could be that this is a complete waste of time. I'm hoping to get some health kits, but I don't know if you get health kits on the treasure chests. I kind of have to applaud the game though for giving me more reason to actually want.
Well, aren't you a funny monkey?
To actually want to do these quests and find all these chests. In the previous game, it was kind of just for money, and certainly didn't seem like there was a real legitimate reason for it. And see, those two chests in particular were right on top of each other in the map and in considerably different places. in actuality. I guess I didn't say it, but even though it did take me another 24 hours to get back to this game, which is a weird way to start any series. It's not a good way. At this point, I do feel mostly recovered from my cold, so because of that, I suspect I'll start being able to do a better job. Let's see. I hadn't done this before. It would cost 30 to repair all because I only have this one thing. But I would kind of like to get some increased health and items. And I guess it's through the items that I'm increasing health too. Captain Sword would be +1, +2, +1. So I suppose I have to complete the shop's quest to do that. This would be +1, +1, but it's really expensive. A knife would be +1, +1, but I don't have enough money. In fact, I'm significantly short on money on everything.
Please come again.
So this isn't going to do at all. It is also worth pointing out that after I did that Bourgeois Tower, I opened up some other memories. So that's a little weird too. I guess we're going this way. I need the treasure chests. I need more money. We've started down this system of being in constant need for the rest of the game. Now you can hear the guards saying I'm crazy over there, but they seem not to really care if I climb on the buildings. Jar of leeches. Anytime I mark something and it just falls off the map, there's a doctor. I think this doctor we've already unlocked, because I think we're going back to where we started. There might be an argument that could be made here that you can't run along the rooftops of this game as well as you could have in the previous two games. There seems to be a lot more breaking things up, a lot more guards. Not enough money, 900. So the memory now is the next thing we should go for. Or perhaps go get the treasure and then go get the memory. And it's definitely up to the player whether they want to do any of that I just did. I imagine reducing the Borgia influence isn't a terrible thought, but it doesn't also seem like it was necessary. I'm looking around trying to see where the chest may be. Here it is. We had a lot of this in the previous game where there was the overhang areas. Often in the previous game they were set in such a way that you could only enter them from like over here, so you'd find an overhang area, there'd be no way to drop down into it, and then you would have to just walk forward and walk backwards and waste your time. Alright, back to story. And maybe we've been playing for about 25 minutes. Maybe 50-50 is about the right way to play this. Spend 30 minutes doing busy work and
Welcome
30
to the Rosa
minutes
in Fiore,
doing
stranger.
story.
Salve. Would you be kind enough to call the owner for me?
Madonna Solari is not in.
Do you know where she is?
I...
Aiuto, aiuto! Madonna Solari!
Oh, Lucia! We thought you were gone for good.
The men took us on a ship. They released me, but she...
Who took you on a ship?
Slave traders, Messere, near Isola Tiberina. They want coin in exchange for her life.
I will get her back.
So he was supposed to come to these courtesans and convince her to do a better job and work for us instead of being lazy. Deliver the money necessary to save the mistress of the Rosa in Fiore from the slave traders holding her captive. Full synchronization, do not swim. We've already messed up full synchronization, so in a lot of ways, it, like, so they're telling me I can just pickpocket. How much do I need? Quite a lot, actually. Is there no better way to do this? So I'm just holding down the A button and walking into these people and getting a ridiculously small amount of income. And they notice it, but what else am I supposed to do? The one thing I should do, as you may notice here, that it seems like things might be locked on us, is figure out where I'm supposed to go. Like, it should be somewhere in Rome. I don't think we're leaving Rome this quickly. But it also may well just be hidden. So, short of not knowing what to do, let's set this viewpoint as our destination. And in general, just walk this way. Now the problem here is this is just going to take forever. And I don't know if I want to deal with a Borgia tower while I'm also dealing with the synchronization issue. It says just swim, but let's see. They've gotten rid of the idea of high visibility and low visibility as it was depicted before. Man, this is gonna take too long. I think the problem here is I spent my money when I shouldn't have. And so, what do I want to do? And like, do I really want to walk around all these people? This is going to take a longer time than it should. And it's not like we're going to run into people that have a couple hundred florins in them. Florins. I got another achievement. Don't know what that was for.
Find me that bastard! Yes! Die! Ah! I see him! There!
Alright. Let's take this guy on then.
I'm with you, Fratello!
This guy is going to run. This is a constant issue.
You will die for setting foot on Brotherhood.
He has escaped. So, because the captain escaped, now there's trouble. So the captain won't be back for another 24 hours. These guys are mad at me, and they will stay mad at me. Perhaps I can get lucky enough to climb this building.
There! There! Get him! I don't see him anymore. Ha! There! After him! Hurry!
And remember, if you're not careful, these rock throwing guards will knock me off. Come on. Seems like the game does not want me to succeed here. And oh, by the way, since people are mad at me, I can't pickpocket them either.
Damn it! Where is he at? There he is! You won't get far.
That doesn't work, by the way, either. And see, I'm potentially dead. Now I've got to run. I've got to run in one way or another. And I'm not even sure I can synchronize
Go! Go!
until
You die now.
gotta be careful to hit that B button
Where's your home, little mouse?
when he hits you like this, but it's not gonna work.
Mouse thrown zone.
So can we just find
I see him. Go!
something?
Go!
Can we kill a few guards and cause less of an issue? This is what we did in the last game. I'm not sure it really worked ever. There's a flag over there. How much money did I get off of the guards? Medicine and throwing knives and nothing else really. But maybe this will just give me enough peace. Come on. Now, I don't believe these towers ever change. So I don't think it would ever be a scenario where I can't climb a tower because I haven't killed the Borgia captain. Instead, it's more of a case of some of these towers just have avenues of progression that don't actually work. Dead ends. This will be annoying when I end up burning the Borgia tower by having to climb this thing a second time, but right now I'd kind of rather do this than other things. Question is, where's the sync point? Over here. And maybe you synchronize and burn the Borgia towers at the same time. And so that captain is back, and he will certainly be a factor. Difficulty 5, there's no reason to even try and take him on without some kind of gun or poison or something that would keep him even moderately in the same place. There's no chance. And in the meantime, if I did something like this, I would I would lose my opportunity here to pickpocket some people. I must have gotten a significant amount of money from the guards. But also, this is not what's supposed to have happened. I messed up this game. You see, people are now realizing I'm a thief, so they're backing away from me. So you can't do any more of that. So then the question is, where do we go on the map? Like, I suppose this is where we'd want to go, or this direction. I suppose this is the better move. One chest might fix a lot of our problems. And see, just turning that corner seemed to have convinced people to stop being afraid of me. Where are you, treasure chest? These little pipes here, not as smooth as you would like them to be. Or not as smooth as I would like them to be, at least. As far as jumping from one point to the other. Let's go over here. Where are you hiding, treasure chest? Where are you hiding? Here it is. See, that was 156. We'll do this. Still need more money. And clearly this is just a tutorial section about pickpocketing. But it's not even like that's a good part of gameplay. It's actually a pretty awful part of gameplay. Let's see. And you don't use it that much, which thankfully you don't use it that much. Because I wouldn't want to have to spend hours and hours on this game pickpocketing people. In fact, as the series of Assassin's Creed grows and grows with every new iteration made by some team in Ubisoft, they add more and more to the detriment of the series, because it becomes this mushy, muddled mess that some things get added and they're liked and stay for maybe one or two other games. Some things are hated immediately and they're taken out. Elements of the first game in particular are quite heavily left on the cutting room floor.
You shouldn't.
See, I notice I'm not meet the slave traders to pay the ransom. I notice I'm not specifically grabbing bodies as they're falling, because I was holding the B button right then. And I guess that's both good and bad in a sense. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Still having a lot of that where the engine just decides that you actually meant to run against the wall and do a 180. So there's a synchronized point over, I think, on that cross. The question is, can we get up on this building? Because clearly this is a special building that they've got everything else far away from. And none of that has anything to do with the story. And that fall didn't do any damage, and I'm surprised and happy by that. Let's see.
He must be late. But she must be beautiful.
You'll hear that phrase a lot in this game. He must be late and she must be beautiful. It's too long of a line, and it gets said a little frequently. So now the trick is to find the next way up. There we go. All this gets up here. Hey, and I can apparently just jump in. Let's synchronize first, and then let's see what happens when we jump in. This might be one of those Romulus things. Where's the synchronized point? If this isn't it, then it's got to be somewhere back this direction. Here it is. Just on the edge. So, a slight flaw in this game is the idea... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to instead go into Eagle Vision just in case there was something nearby, but I don't even think there is. Like, if there was something hidden, I think we'd see it. Getting an interesting echoey sound. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything. I don't think I can just eagle. Like, this really feels like I would just die if I jumped. So instead we'll just climb down. And see, I feel like we're very possibly doing something that the storyline is going to ask of us to do later. Anyways. The main idea I'm following right now is just not falling to my death. This is very golden, this area. See a little bit of smoke. And there is something on the inside. But also I could have just come into this place, it seems, and prayed. Apparently the church was open. So, okay, whatever. And I believe at this point we start crawling into these things. I don't know if we did that in the previous game. And we'll see what this is. We're walking towards it in this loading screen. I wish the mouse wasn't there. Let's move the mouse out of the way. This game has trouble with that.
You dropped out of the grid. Where were you?
Not sure. Some kind of fragmented memory?
Maybe you should stop.
I'm good. I want to keep going.
So cluster 1, so it doesn't matter which icon you find on the map, it's going to give you them in order, I would almost certainly. So masters all, they did not work, but ruled from on high. So it wants me to pick 5 of the 10 pictures that had noble people. So I would say that's probably one, that's probably one. That looks like a working mother. That looks like a noble family. That looks like a working family. This looks like a noble family. I guess I should zoom in a little bit more on these, shouldn't I? Nobility, working class, nobility, working, nobility, working class, nobility, working class, working class, working class, and working class. That's funny. One of these needs to be included, and I'm not sure which one. Notice this is from a slightly different, well, quite a bit different time period than that one. So that one's in there. Those look like Puritans. Puritans certainly workers. Does this one have nobility in it? Sort of. Those look like... Just throw that one in there and see if it works.
Loading.
Loading. Moving away from the sovereign, his crossed brow. The people take 2 steps forward. Ah, yes. So this is the game in which they have the chess, and if you just don't know how to play chess, there's no help here at all. But 2 steps forward is the pawn, and that certainly would be a standard beginning of a chess game.
Loading.
They become increasingly aware of our existence. We can no longer rely on the divine right of the aristocracy to maintain control. We need a new system, something more subtle, like democracy or
Loading.
republic.
Quarantine zone.
Cluster quarantined. And so now we're kind of using a Geiger counter. There we go, we found a blinking red dot.
Quarantine lifted.
I'll put 16's video files here. Hopefully they'll begin to make sense as you free up each file.
So the truth. Again, we've already had a game with the truth, and of all the clusters, how many are there? Only 10. So not an incredibly long amount, and it feels like that this is not going to get any clearer until you have other clusters, which I imagine means that you probably need 9, if not all 10 of them before you can even understand any of it. There we go. And that's kind of the only reason you need to be in the Eagle Vision mode. These things are kind of helpful, but not really how you'd want to play. How much, by the way, does it cost to purchase the Pantheon? Can't do it. It's under the Borgia influence. So, almost certainly it's going to take a while. The way they should have fixed the mission that I'm doing right now, where we had to pickpocket to get money, is a single line of dialogue, or where the courtesans said, "Here's all we have," or "It's not enough," and handed him a satchel of florins. And then what the game could have done is just sneakily adjusted your income, adjusted how much you get from that satchel between the amount that would be more reasonable to pickpocket, so that I only had to spend about 5 minutes pickpocketing instead of what felt closer to 12 minutes of pickpocketing. Again, certainly feeling that it's not worth jumping across rooftops. It's easier just to fall on the ground and continue running that way. Oops, I forgot about the do not swim part, which we can look on the map would have meant, since it's all the way down here, it would have meant I should have taken this bridge or taken this island bridge. And if I had known I was supposed to walk that way anyways, it would have been nice. Now, this is yet another nail in the coffin of 100% synchronization. I would never spend the energy to do this quest a second time just to avoid jumping in the water. That's pathetically pedantic, to use a couple P words back to back. It's silly. Not worth my effort. Not worth my time. And in all actuality, any collectibles, any achievements, anything you can even think about this game don't really matter. Not even really the story matters too much. While the Ezio collection and the story of Ezio is interesting and probably worth telling or worth seeing, I think you could probably get it down to a decent movie, or maybe perhaps combine the 3 Ezio stories into one to speed the process up a little bit. And at the end of the day, when you start thinking about Assassin's Creed 7 and going forward, it can't really play any role. The next Assassin's Creed game is supposed to be set in Egypt, so there's a decent chance that you'd be playing as, I think, one of Cleopatra's handmaidens was a famous assassin, because there was 7 famous assassins in the that you had to get visit their tombs and get their symbols to get Altair's armor in the previous game, and I imagine that's what they're plotting and planning. Let's see, we're right next to a Borgia tower, which seems odd.
Are you here for the whore?
Aiutatemi!
I have your money.
She's the lady in charge?
Let her go!
She looks so young.
Take it up with Cesare!
Oh, these guys are too good. I need a different weapon. Like, my swing is not working at all. Here we go. Boy, is this annoying. Am I just supposed to wait for them to attack and try to get combos? Apparently I was. Just wait for him to attack and defend. Come on, attack. You really want a piece of this too, guards? So no witnesses. Let's go ahead and use a medicine as we start searching these guards. How much money am I getting off of these guys? Well, elephant ivory and money alone kind of means I have to search these people, at least for the moment, because I don't know any other way to get these quest items, and each one of them seems to be handing me, or at least having a decent chance of handing me, exactly what I need for quest items. Of course, I don't know really how much I want to get into that. And all of those bodies that have been searched, is that the case, or is there something more to it? This guy's a difficulty 4. And the next bit of storyline wants me to go somewhere else. So I'm gonna sneak back around here. And again, I need to get the captain first. Holding B, not grabbing the body, but I am noticing the bodies aren't sliding as much as they usually are. Here we go. So this guy's gonna walk over here. And I don't think he's gonna escape. So if I stand over here and just wait for the assassin button on the X icon on the HUD, which I wish I could move the HUD a little bit further. I wish I could have moved the HUD further to the edges. This is kind of a consistent issue with midterm games, with the like moderately new games that have HUDs, but not games that are new enough to have all the lovely customizations that you would expect from something like Witcher 3. Yeah, Witcher 3 in particular is a great example of a game series that...
Don't lose him again!
Oh, nope. Oh, nope, nope, nope.
I don't want to get away!
That's not what I wanted to do. If I don't get up here.
Oh, get your hands off me!
Nope, come on. Up the ladder. Don't die. Don't fight. Up the ladder.
Faster! Run faster! Now you die!
No, no, no.
Faster! Don't lose him! There!
I guess I do need to just kill these guys. Don't fall off here.
Damn it! Get in!
Now I'm not sure if I knocked.
Where is he? Ah! Get him!
Come on. Oh, come on.
He's here!
I think I killed that guy. It didn't quite show the stab in the head animation for the guy, or make the sound effect at least. Come on. Come on, game, let me up. I think I have to work my way around. This will be interesting if it synchronizes as I blow up the tower. I think it will. Seriously, you're not gonna let me up higher? I earned this, though. Like, I couldn't abide them not letting me up. Like, that would be very annoying if... So, press B to ignite. And that was a synchronization. And 1,000 florins. And we could go ahead and use health. We're going to use a lot of health in this game, obviously. And everything is back to what we would want it to be. Or, not back to, but to what we'd want it to be. So, interestingly enough, I suppose the first thing to do would be to go here. And then work here, work here, work here. Maybe even work our way to this viewpoint before we come back this way. I think we're going to, when you kind of look at the Borgia influence in particular, you kind of see how there's not as much of room as I thought there was. It's definitely a lot bigger than the previous two games, but as I'm liberating things moderately easy, at least right now, things are turning out quite nicely, and we're noticing that there's less of the map. Maybe Rome, it turns out that it's actually the small section of the city, or maybe the map zooms out a lot more. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. That being said, even though we didn't quite finish that storyline, we have been playing for an hour. Some goofing off there, a little bit of goofing off, but all kind of necessary too. Getting the Borgia Towers, getting the viewpoints, just a little setup to gameplay. I wouldn't be surprised by the time we're halfway through the game, we stop doing a lot of the things that have traditionally been Assassin's Creed things in favor of quicker options and quicker ways to play. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.